Yeah, we called it Utah because Slipknot got to call their album Iowa.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to hit like the heaviest album like Slipknot got with Iowa, but at the same time, we were like, well, we live here and we're trying to make a heavy album. Let's just call it Utah.
They came up for you and never they publicize blue skies never ending. So deep down inside you, man, there's almost no explain.
What's going on, everybody? We are honored today with Mr. Stephen Lee, lead vocalist of Surreal. Stephen, how are you, buddy?
Doing great, man. How about yourself?
Man, loving this hot weather in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm sure it beats the 115 here in Utah.
Man, I hear conditions are pretty bad over there right about now, huh?
Oh, we're surrounded by smoke, man, both sides. And Salt Lake's got like the worst air pollution in the world, not just the US, the world.
Wow. That is crazy, dude. Yeah, I figure, hey man, I've got so many questions and I figure we just hop right into it. Before we get started though, I want to say, dude, when me and Smokey first made contact with you, we saw that the band that, you guys have created. I mean, not only are you guys dedicated, not only do you guys actually put time, effort, work, and actually, the energy that you guys put in your projects. I think that's what made us such fans with you guys. I mean, and for that, I want to say, I salute you for that, because not many people take their craft serious. Why the reason of that? What's the point of view? Is this your goal? Is this your driven goal here?
I can't not play music. Ever since I was a little kid, I think I've had guitar in my life since I was like 8 years old. And I actually picked it up how to professionally learn it at probably 13 or 14. And no matter how many times I try to set it down, it'll never go away. And my wife teases me constantly. She goes, if you try to quit music, you'll be miserable. I was like, yeah, you're right. So I have to do it. It's not even just a must. It's a have to. So
I totally get it, man. Being an artist, if you're an artist, I genuinely believe that that's something you're born with. And I'm sure you feel the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it can be crippling sometimes to an extent, pushing yourself to the maximum to try and make the thing that you want to do the best, but don't kill yourself over it, but also don't give up. Like, just keep going. Eventually you'll find that sweet spot and you'll be able to ride that.
Absolutely.
To Valhalla.
That's it, buddy. That's it. So I want to start with some, a previous project, Utah.
Yeah. Last album.
I'm pretty sure you got that because you named the title Utah. You guys named the album Utah is because you're from Utah or you live in Utah, right?
Yep. Yeah, we called it Utah because Slipknot got to call their album Iowa.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to hit like the heaviest album like Slipknot got with Iowa, but at the same time, we were like, well, we live here and we're trying to make a heavy album. Let's just call it Utah. So we found some really killer artwork and thought we had some pretty good songs to go along with it, like The Worst that you guys reacted to first.
Yes.
That's the first track on the album. So, I mean, we tried doing stuff like that. And the whole thing was recorded by us. We did all the recording ourselves and then sent it off to one of our friends in Vegas to mix and master it. So.
That's awesome, dude. So real quick as far as, shout out to Jerry and Justin, how did you guys meet, and where did the formula come from for Surreal?
So for Utah, the original lineup was actually me on vocals, Justin guitar, Nicholas Goff bass guitar, Benjamin Krieger guitar, and then Jeff Culligan on drums. And we kind of started to separate just a little bit, but the band wasn't going anywhere. So me and Justin found Jerry to come join us, and Jerry was already looking for a project. And he was joking with somebody saying, I want to play in a band, but the only band I want to play with is Surreal, and they already have a drummer. So, right. So when Jeff ended up departing, when we told Jerry about it, he was already in because he wanted to do it in the first place. So it's just me, Justin, and Jerry for Anthropophagy. And our friend Brian Bissell was also recording with us. He was going to be on samples for a little while. Mm-hmm. And he had some family issues coming up prior to us fully getting into it. So he had to depart as well. So we were still 4-piece. And then when I'm getting eaten alive by flies right now, they're coming in from where Well, I don't know. Dead body over there in the grass.
Oh, no.
In the garbage can. So Brian ended up leaving right before the recording process ended up going through, but he was our sample player. So if you watch the last show that we played of 2020 in Vegas at the House of Blues, Brian was up on stage with us for that show too, and he was doing backing vocals and samples. So he was playing all the cool sound effects and shit like that, the underlying stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah,
we didn't.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, we didn't want him to go, but he eventually had to depart himself. He had stuff coming up that couldn't get everything balanced, and that happens. You know, I find myself doing that sometimes. I got to drop something because I can't make it work. You gotta make time for the things that you love, and sometimes it doesn't work out the way that you want it to. So. That's
it, man. So is it okay? And I'm asking you this because I'm a fan of you guys' music. Be honest with me here. Is there an inspiration from Slipknot? Like who were your inspirations?
Well, Corey Taylor. I mean, when I was 10 years old when I bought Slipknot's first album, the self-titled. Obviously, they had Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat prior to that, but nobody knew about that one because nobody had the internet or anything like that to let you know that kind of stuff existed in faraway lands. So Corey was always. When I first heard that, I was really big into rap at the time, so there was a lot of stuff that I loved. I was Bone Thugs and Wu-Tang, and Eminem was coming up and all that stuff. I was really big into that, and then I heard Slipknot, and I was like, he's rapping and screaming at the same time. I'm like, I want to do that. I was like, it's so angry. I was like, so yeah, Corey like shifted my whole reality. I was like, that's amazing. And then of course the music just got heavier from there. So
Man, it's I definitely hear a Slipknot vibe when I listen to you guys. So, you know, I thought maybe that'd be an inspiration. Any more inspirations that you guys pull from?
How long is this interview?
We'll try to give me a quick synopsis.
Okay, guitar wise, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera.
Oh yes.
Rest in peace. I named my son after him. I literally wanted to be Dimebag. I dressed like him, dyed my beard red. I did everything. I spoke like him. I'm not even from Texas, and I wanted to like talk the way that he talked. I mean, we drank Crown Royal and Coors Light in my bedroom at a young age, getting in trouble left and right because Dimebag did it, and I wanted to do it.
That's awesome. Are you not wearing a Pantera shirt right now?
I am right now. Far Beyond Driven, dude.
Exactly.
I've seen a lot of people been reacting to 5 Minutes Alone lately, so I think that's pretty cool that Becoming and 5 Minutes Alone is starting to gain traction again for reaction videos. I noticed Pantera is starting to. I see this trend because I watch a ton of reaction videos. So not only do I love you guys a lot, but there's some other people coming out that I'm like, man, this guy is so much fun to watch, and I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's because you lost. At a certain age, you lose the ability to show people the music that you loved,
right?
Because you've got your own life going on. So when you get to watch other people listen to music that you've known for a really long time, and you get to see them feel the same way you did when you first heard that music, that's what makes reaction videos that much fun to watch. When a part hits really hard, and that person goes, "Ooh," yes! And you go, "I know, right?" And
yes!
I like that a lot. But I've seen that Far Beyond Driven from Pantera starting to come up a lot, and so is Great Southern Trendkill. So I think you guys just hit a Pantera song just recently too.
We're gonna have the two that you brought up. We're definitely gonna have to check those out. I'm not familiar with those.
You got to do 5 Minutes Alone first.
Okay. Hey, coming up.
Use my third arm. That's a good one too.
That's awesome. All right, back to the music, man. So on the album Utah, by the way, first of all, whoever makes you guys' artwork, guys, I'm wearing an Surreal shirt. Whoever does your artwork, your graphics, dude, shout out to that guy.
I'm glad you're wearing Jim Bob's t-shirt. So that's Jim Bob. He lives in Atlanta, so he's an artist out there in your direction. Yeah. So he did that t-shirt, and I'll send this to him when we're done and we put it out. I'll go, hey, you got a shout out. And then Chris McKinney did the Utah. That's an actual photo. So his photographs, they're real photos. He did the one with the demoness on the front. And then my buddy Chad Keith out of California, he did the Anthropophagy artwork, and that is all acrylic. That's a painting. So I have that hanging in the room.
Man, I love this artwork. But speaking of this album, all right, one of my favorite songs, man. Number 3 on Utah. I love Venta Black. I love Venta Black. I love it. However, I have got to ask you a question, buddy. You wrote the lyrics to Venta Black, right?
Yeah, I wrote pretty much all the lyrics except for Fallen. I didn't write the lyrics to Fallen.
Okay. So in Venta Black, you have a set of lyrics, and I've been trying to, you know what, it's me and Smokey, we try to decipher lyrics and try to understand where the lyricist is coming from. And I think I know where you're going with this, but I'm speaking to you, so I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth. So in Venta Black, you say, I'm your dark lord now. Hear me calling out. Praise me even though you hate me. The smallest fiber will shine right through. Not to mention, I'm the key to your happiness, and still you'd prefer to follow unsure truth. What does that mean?
That song is written about children that get pushed into missionary positions to go out and spread the word. There's a lot of like, this is what you're supposed to believe. Now go tell everybody else to believe that. And when they hear people like me or anybody that looks like me talk about that kind of stuff, I'm automatically hated. Exactly like Corey says in Iowa, I am hated because you don't know anything about me, but you can just look at me. These kind of people will look at me and go, well, that guy, he's the devil.
Right.
So it's like, when I talk about that kind of stuff, I'm saying it's okay. I read the first line of the song.
First line of Venta Black is, because when we get off of this, because I'll tell you my meaning, but I'm so glad you say that. The first line to Venta Black is, I need you to let me in.
Yeah.
You're too nice, you little demon. Now it makes sense. Now that you said that.
I can hear all those thoughts that you've been dreaming.
Yes.
It's not a problem if you want to exude all those deep, dark thoughts that live inside of you. So I'm talking a lot about, it's okay to feel like you want to go hang out with somebody and I don't know, drink a beer or whatever. It's okay to do that kind of shit. Just because somebody's telling you it's not okay doesn't mean that's true at all.
Right.
So live your life the way you want to live your life and stop listening to other people. That's pretty much, I guess, the moral of the story. Man,
you breaking that down is crazy, because listening to it, it almost sounded like, hey, you've been following, and it's kind of hard to not bring religion into this, because I thought it was about, hey, you've been following something, but you've been following the wrong thing. So follow something that looks more like this. That's what. Yeah, but see, and that's just the fun of it, is like, you don't have to follow anything. Right. That's the beauty, is like, you don't have to believe anything. You don't have to. You could do whatever you want. But if you're listening to somebody telling you how to live, that's not okay. Exactly. That's not living. That's just existing, I guess, to an extent. Like, it's so no, man. You're right. It has nothing to do with the devil or anything like that. It literally just has to just have fun, live your life. That's it.
Free, man.
I'm so glad you brought that up, the fact that you broke it down, because now hearing it from you, and when I go back and listen to it, now I have a totally different perception of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So real quick, you being bassist and lead vocalist, Justin on the guitar is crazy. But shout out to Justin. But your drummer, man, Jerry, that dude is a freaking monster.
Appreciate it. So remember, Jeff's on Utah, Jerry's on Anthropophagy.
Right.
So depending on which, Jeff kills it just as much on Utah as Jerry does on Anthro.
See, the reason I'm talking about Anthropophagy, I don't know why that word's so hard for me to say. Why the name Anthropophagy? Why that?
Well, you guys looked it up. The eating of man it's a metaphor for the decline. So it's doesn't have to be cannibalism. It could mean like, self-implosion. You're just kind of like destroying yourself, and or we're destroying each other. Like, it's just I love when you guys are talking about the first one. I'm like, I can't wait to talk about the actual moral and meaning behind all this stuff. So
yeah, I mean, because when we looked it up, obviously it was the eating of a basically cannibalism. And
right.
watching the video, it's just like, man, are these guys into this? This is why I was so intrigued to actually have this conversation with you, to pick your brain,
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on though, man. So we have a reaction coming out today, and it's called Red. The name of the song is Tubos. Am I pronouncing that properly? Tubos?
So it's an anagram. So it's T-U-B
Tubos?
T-U-B-O-H-S, and there's actually a C missing because I used them. So Tubos is what we always joke about it being an anagram, but the entire title means the underbelly of human subculture is what the entire song means. So it's Tubos is short for the underbelly of human subculture. Is what that stands for.
And why? I noticed next to it, it has red. What was the theme, or what was the direction you guys were going with Red? And then we haven't listened to the other ones because we might react to it. Well, we are, because I think you said it was a 6-part collection.
3-part song.
3 parts.
So yeah, it's three-part song, and they're all separate. Okay. How do I explain this without sounding like a crazy person?
No, I want to hear that, dude, because you have red and gold. Like, for instance, all right, looking at Anthropophagy, you have Tubos red, Tubos gold, Tubos titanium. So that's the 3-part. Please explain.
All right, I'll start with 3 because that's the easiest to explain. Titanium is it stands for a gun, so it's like the titanium being, is there a gun that's made out of titanium? And I think we had to look it up one time, and I don't fully remember what kind of gun it was. Mikey, what kind of gun was made out of titanium? Do you remember what kind of gun it was? I don't remember.
45. I don't know.
we'll go with a gun that's made out of titanium.
I gotta think about it.
I'll have to think about it, honey.
What song we need?
And gold stands for a crown, so a golden crown, and red stands for shoes, a red pair of shoes.
Okay.
And
so titanium gun, gold crown, red shoes. Where are we going here, Stephen?
I went backwards. So if you delve into the rabbit hole of insanity that is what people were talking about with child predators and all that stuff, they dig super deep into just crazy theories that, to an extent, I understand that there are children out in the world being hurt by people who probably have power over the entire situation to be able to do so, to hurt children in general, or just, it's
sad.
It's upsetting. And that's why in part 1, my buddy Phoenix, he said while we were working together, he goes, I love Tubos part 1. He goes, because in the line you say, when will all the little children come back home? And he goes, it was upsetting to me because the answer is never. Wow. And I was like that. I said, that's why it's the most painful thing to realize when in those situations. So what happened was, when we started writing part 1, there was a little girl here in Utah that got kidnapped by her uncle. And within 4 hours of them finding this person that kidnapped his niece, she was dead.
Oh no.
4 hours. And it was all in the news the entire time, from the point of the kidnapping to the point when they found her body. And we're standing at practice watching this, and I've got a guitar in hand, and I started writing that riff. Bang, ding, ding, ding.
Oh, I love it.
Ding,
love it.
Ding. So I started writing that as we're watching this. And I was so angry. I said, why did she have to die? Like, this child that you were supposed to be protecting, you were supposed to be the protector, the one that made this child feel safe and happy, and you destroyed it.
Why?
I was so infuriating.
Jesus.
I couldn't get over it. And so we did all 3 parts were all based around this one scenario. And my buddy goes, so the whole song is about killing child molesters. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's exactly what it's about.
yeah. So but I get a little more in depth with it. So through all three parts, I try to be a little smarter about the scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously with the reaction coming out to Tubos Red, the next one we should do obviously should be gold and then titanium, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So red's 1, gold 2,
Two.
titanium 3.
Man, where do you dig this either you're a really deep thinker, or you pay attention to what's going on around in the world, because for someone to write a song like this about something that's so tragic and actually make it sound good, you can actually vibe to it. Like, how do you come up with that? Do you just, like, your writing process, how do you come up with it?
Well, when you guys listen to part 2, I don't know if you guys have listened to part 2 yet.
No,
Well,
the reaction will be out soon.
Yeah. So when you guys listen to part 2, I talk about it in part 2, from my own past experiences of being a victim of certain scenarios, that I, instead of being somebody who's taken it and held it inside and put it onto other people, I use it against those kind of people. And I'm more like an advocate for, bring fucking death penalty back, dude.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like, tell me what this person did. They're a repeat offender, and all the evidence is put in due process. Absolutely due process. That's totally good with me. But when all the evidence is literally laid right there in front for this person, just end it.
Dude.
It doesn't need to keep going. And that was kind of part 1, 2, and 3 was the whole. So again, titanium, a gun. So
okay, now it's clicking in. Okay.
So red being the people. So red being the scenario,
Right.
gold being the people, 3 being the solution.
You soggy son of a bitch. Damn, boy. I mean, that's brilliant, man. I mean, I don't know, dude. Some artists, they let's take rap, for instance. And me being a rapper myself, it's hard for me to rap about things that I don't have. I'm not going to rap about a $450,000 gold chain because I don't have that. But what I can rap about is things that I see and I hear and I observe. And it looks like that's what you're going through. That's how you analyze, basically.
Well, I mean, I can't talk about any of that stuff. I don't have anything. So, like, to me, I talk about life experiences and the things that are real and happen. And I mean, I could go through every single one of the songs. Anthropophagy is the decline, so that's why number 1 is Anthro. Give me 1 second.
No, you're good.
Please.
Shout out Steven, great father, great musician. He's a good guy right here, man.
My
Good
daughter,
guy.
the entire interview so far, Dad, where's the Kinder Egg? Don't know where the chocolate is.
Yeah, man, I'll let you get out of here shortly, but
you're all good. I'll sit and talk for hours, man. I like doing this kind of stuff.
After we do the 3-part reaction, of course, gold will be next. For some reason, one track is sticking out to me: Eternal Monotony.
Yeah,
what does
that's
that mean?
life. Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs on the album. That song's like 13 minutes long, but it's a long song. But yeah, Eternal Monotony is life. The chorus goes, "This life ain't long enough. There aren't enough hours in the day. From dusk till dawn, I'm gone, but I won't let my time slip away." So it's
I have to say that's my most favorite song off the album.
Mike says
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that one's I don't know if you guys have covered much Doom yet, but that's more of our sludgy Doom track off the album. So we put that one at the end for people who aren't necessarily used to that kind of music, because that can be a hard one. Attention spans, they get their 4 minutes is pushing it a lot of times. So the moment you're like 13 minutes, people are like, what the? I ain't got that kind of thing.
See, me and Smokey enjoy that, being big Tool fans. We, they make 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-minute songs, and we enjoy that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just takes that time. You need that extra amount of time to get out what you're saying or what you're feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah. I used to, well, okay. So I had to back up a lot for this album because on Utah, songs like, was it Vanna Black
Oh, love that song.
or was it, oh, it was Word Porn. Word Porn was the one where I shoved, God, I don't even know how many words into one scenario. That was, I saw the phrase word porn when somebody's real smart about the way that they speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, well, I want to work off of the idea that not only am I saying what I'm trying to say really well, but I also want to use the biggest words I can find. And I want to talk about how disgusting adults can be. So I tried to hit like 3 subjects in one scenario with that one, but I said, break it and make it, take it and make it a blanket cup with the bacon and figure it. So I was like trying to get really quick with like, but then for this album, I'm like, I got to back up because I'm trying to shove way too many words in while I'm playing bass. Plus the bass playing got a lot more difficult with this album. So I was like, I better back up a little bit and like not overdo myself. And I shared some of the footage on my page from the last show we played up in Salt Lake at the Royal. And that was the first time we played anything off this album live.
Oh wow!
So it was an eye opener for the things that I need to change and the things that I need to do because live experience from the album experience is 2 different.
So one thing I do like about the way you one minute you'll hit us with those really guttural growls, and then sometimes it almost sounds like you're rapping, and then sometimes you'll come like with a melodic flow. You know. What do you classify? What genre would you put our Surreal in? Let me ask you
that. So we started calling ourselves progressive. We're not prog because we don't do a lot of mathy things, but progressive being like trying to not be 100% metal, but also not trying to be 100% soft. And that's why every song on the album is different from one another. I mean, there's acoustic songs on this album. There's poetry on this album. I did a poetry song on this one. That's L'Appel du Vide, which means into the void is what that means in French. So, yeah, there's a lot of secret stuff I could tell you about everything that we did for this one. Even the booklet, if you guys got to look into the booklet.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys punched in those coordinates, but I had a buddy.
Literally my next question. Literally my next question. I guess I'll explain to people who, do you mind if I show this?
Go right ahead.
All right. To people who don't know, and guys, go check these guys out because they're great. On the
Surreal.com.
Yeah, or Surreal.com. On the booklet of the album here, when you open the booklet, there's a set of coordinates here. I don't know if you guys can read that or not, but what? And then you have like random numbers and random. Explain, please.
Well, did you punch any of them in?
No, I have not.
You have to. You got to. I don't know if I want to give that away because that's a really cool little Easter egg.
Don't spoil it.
Well, my buddy calls me and he goes, "All I know is after I looked in your booklet, I learned something today." That's what he told. That was Dominic. Dominic was the one. Dom messaged me. He goes, "I learned something today." And actually, if you lift the disc up off and you look underneath it on the back, that's one of the coordinates locations, and it'll tell you all about that. So if you take the disc out and you look at the image underneath it, that's where it'll take you to that location, and it'll tell you about that location. And then the other coordinate, I don't know if I'll keep that one a secret because that was really cool. And that's like no bullshit. Like if you punch that in on Google Maps, it will take you directly to that spot and it'll show you what it is. And so you're going, oh, that's horseshit. But if anybody in the world punch that in, it'll take them directly to that spot. And that was why I'm like, dude, it's got to go in there. I'm like, this is crazy. And that is all based around the poetry I put in there for L'Appel du Vide. So when I woke up one night at like 2 a.m, and I had the first couple phrases from that poetry running through my head, I couldn't recite them. I think I'd screw them up if I tried reciting them. But yeah, I woke up and the first 3 phrases was running through my head, and I don't know what was going on. I was telling, like, the alternate universe was talking to me, and I was telling myself some shit I didn't understand, and I stayed up all night just typing up this whole set of poetry. And then Justin's daughter was actually the one that read it. So when you listen to it on the album, that's Justin, the guitar player. That's his daughter that's reading it.
And this is from Lap Duvide? Lap Duvide.
Lapel Duvide.
Huh.
And I'm probably pronouncing that right. It's probably like Lapele du Vide or something like that. So I'm probably saying it wrong too.
That's crazy. I actually took French, and I should know that. But man, I'm excited about that. You breaking the coordinates down, and man, that literally, when we're done with this interview, I'm going to go do that. Just so you know, because that's interesting. It's but that's what I mean about you putting so much detail. Like, most people wouldn't say, dude, look at this amazing thing that we found and let's put the coordinates in it. Most people wouldn't do that. Just the fact that you do that, we appreciate the detail that you do. So, man, again, salute to you for that, buddy.
Appreciate it. Yeah. And and one of the biggest things I say almost daily is you learn something new every day.
Every day.
And if you're not learning something new every day, you should probably fucking get on that.
Yes. Yes. If you're not learning, I've always been told you learn something every day. And the day you stop learning is the day you die. So.
That's true.
Real quick, man. Anything you want to tell us about, future projects, or what do you have in the works for what you got in the future for us?
So we got one more song that was supposed to be on this album that I'll probably be releasing today or tomorrow. I'll probably release it tomorrow, but there was a secret track that didn't get put on the album, but anybody that pre-ordered the album or anything like that, they got it with the download. But I'll put that up on YouTube and stuff so everybody can listen to that one. That one's got my buddy Garrick Dastrup that actually lives out there in Atlanta for a band called King's Peak. He guests guitar solos on that song, and we'll put that one up, and that'll be the final one that was supposed to be on Anthropophagy that didn't go on there.
But you will post it on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll go up, and anybody that subscribes and stuff like that, make sure you go subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the Trash Talkers. Make sure you go follow Hollywood and follow Smokey on Instagram, all that good stuff. I'll post that one up. We got a cover song that was supposed to be on this album, and I only put that on YouTube. Anybody that downloaded it also got it, but it's on YouTube. We did if you ever heard of Jethro Tull, we did a song called Locomotive Breath. And yeah, you got to show you. Yeah, Mikey's dad would really like that one. But
that's awesome.
They just did their 50th anniversary of that album too, I think. So that's a pretty old album, but we did a heavy cover of that one, which I thought came out really good.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. Real quick, man, I'm gonna let you get out of here. But the song we got, the reaction we have coming up, dude. The underbelly of human subculture, part red. What the hell?
Tubos.
Oh, is that Tubos? That's what it stands for.
The underbelly of human subculture.
Wow. Yeah, man. I'm excited to, check it out, man. And to everyone watching, the reaction will be out later, but you guys definitely surreal.com, dig into these guys because they're phenomenal, man. They're really, really great artists. All right. So just out the blue question before I let you go, hamburgers or hot dogs?
We're going to have hot dogs tonight. So we got to go with hot, and it's a new one called a J-Dog. So I'll put up the recipe or something like that if we can get it down. So I guess it's been around for a really long time and it's a Utah thing or something, but we had some yesterday. So hot dogs for sure, because they were awesome. So it was like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it was like a hot dog rolled in teriyaki sauce, and then they put a pickle spear in with it. So it'd be like relish, but a whole pickle. And then they moisten the bun. Oh, dude, I can't even explain how good it was. It was so
dang
good.
It. See, now you done made me hungry. You made me hungry. Next one. Fruity Pebbles or Captain Crunch?
Fruity Pebbles. Captain Crunch, it'll rip you up, dude. Fruity Pebbles is delicious.
It will rip your mouth to pieces. Ford or Chevy?
Probably Chevy. Yeah, I have neither. I own Jeep, so I'm a Jeep person. So Chrysler. There we go.
All right.
Chrysler or Mopar.
I don't know if you're into any sports at all, but NFL, NBA, NHL. If you had to pick one to watch for the rest of your life, what you going with?
NHL. We're hockey fans, Bruin fans. My little brother's more Blackhawks, but Well, yeah, I'm a Bruins fan, so I know that pisses everybody off, but it's all good.
Shout out to your little brother, because I'm not into hockey, but I love the Blackhawks jersey. I love their jersey.
We're all originally from South Dakota, so hockey was a big thing out there. And then he started playing in Vegas, and now they got the Golden Knights out there, so it's definitely starting to make its way. So
that's awesome, man. Listen, man, I want to thank you so much for the time you've given me. Anything else you want to say to the people?
Keep listening to music, man. Learn something new every day, and always be open-minded and optimistic. Love everybody until they give you a reason not to. And then go from there.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for checking in with us. It's been an honor to speak with Stephen Lee here. The reaction be out again later today. Like I've said before, guys, go check these guys out. Our Surreal is literally, they're great. They're wonderful artists, and as you guys can tell from listening to this interview here, this guy goes extremely deep with the writing process and everything. So this is a great band here, guys. If you haven't checked them out, go do so. With that being said, my name's Behringer Hollywood 6, and you are?
I am Larry Smokey. I'm just kidding. I'm Stephen Lee McLaughlin. Damn it, I want him to be here so he can say it. I love his outro.
Hell yeah. Shout out Smokey, guys. We are over and out. Deuces.
Later.